Okay, so we have talked in the past about the nominative, accusative, and dative cases and what those mean in German. So most verbs in German will be so-called accusative verbs. And that means that their object would be in the accusative case. So it's a direct object then. There are lots of examples of this. I can say, ich mache meine Hausaufgaben, for example. I do my homework. The homework is what's being done or being made in this case. Ich trage den Rock. I wear the skirt. Here we have a singular masculine in the accusative case. Tragen, to wear or to carry, is acting directly on the skirt here. But this review video is to talk about dative verbs. So I will bold that, make it a little bit bigger. So these are verbs that, at least in German, would make their object an indirect object. I think that's the easiest way to kind of conceptualize it. So I'll just say indirect object. Or rather, the object they would have is always indirect. Just say object is always indirect. So some of the examples we've had are gefallen, stehen, und passen. Gefallen is one that you'll encounter quite a bit. So a lot of people translate gefallen as to like. Personally, I find it easier to think of it as to be pleasing to. And I'm going to bold and underline this to here. So what's important here is the thing that I like or the thing that pleases me is going to be the subject. So the object of our affections or our admiration here will be the subject of the sentence. So if I wanted to say, the shirt is pleasing to me, and we'll say it's like a work shirt, we're going to use das Hemd. Say, das Hemd gefällt, not mich, but mir. Und ich bin eine Frau, so I could say, das Hemd gefällt der Frau. And there we have a feminine singular in the dative case, so we're changing to der. Das Hemd gefällt mir, das Hemd gefällt der Frau. So instead of saying I like the shirt, we're saying, like word for word, the shirt is pleasing to me, as I've written here. So something you don't want to say. Ich gefalle dem Hemd. That means I am pleasing to the shirt. Hopefully we're not in a parallel universe where shirts are sentient. So we'll cross that out. Das sagen wir nicht. So gefallen is generally going to be with as es or with sie as a third person plural. So like they, the shirts, the socks. Let's do one with the socks. Die Socken gefallen den Kindern. So the socks are pleasing to the children, and because this is a plural in dative, that doesn't already end in an N, as is typical. We'll add an N. So die Socken gefallen den Kindern. And we've seen the same kind of pattern with a few other verbs that we've encountered in Netzwerke 1. And I would personally, for the final review, stehen und passen. So stehen, we've learned as to stand, but in this context, it means something different. So stehen to suit. So like something suits you, something looks good on you. To think about it in terms of like you, as in the person who's being suited by the clothes or whatever it is. I think, as with gefallen, if I think of it as to be pleasing to, I can think of stehen as to be suiting. Is that even a word? I don't know. To be not attractive, but like something looks good on you. You can think about that preposition on. We saw this in the chapter about clothes, and that is the context you will almost always see this in. So, das Kleid steht ihr gut. The dress looks nice on her. You know the Sufjan Stevens songs, the song, The Dress Looks Nice on You. This is the dress looks nice on her. I'm going to say the dress looks nice on you. Das Kleid steht dir gut. So, we have not dich, not du, but dir. Ihr is the dative form that we're using for the singular sie, she. Could say, das Kleid steht dem Mädchen gut. So it looks good on the girl. It suits her, or it is suiting to her. So we're treating this as an indirect object, and it's going to be in the dative case. And if you recall, our articles or our pronouns, well, not the personal pronouns, excuse me, but our definite and indefinite articles are determined both by the case and the gender of the word. So das Mädchen, even though it means the girl, it's a neuter noun, and it's always going to be neuter no matter what the case is. Not doing well with the keyboard shortcuts today. So das Mädchen, just say this is neuter. And because it's in the dative case, it's the indirect object here, we're changing das to dem. If you memorize your charts, that's the easiest way to know what you would be changing it to, given the case. Then we also have the example here of passen. So let's say to fit. Or in the fashion that I've been using with ending on prepositions to help us remember that this is an indirect object that we're going to add afterwards, to be fitting to. I don't know why it's auto-correcting into German. So to be fitting to. So this is like the clothing fits you, like maybe it's too big, maybe it's too small, or maybe it's just right. Maybe it passt. So I can say, someone's asking, passt das Kleid? And I can answer, ja, das Kleid passt mir gut. So it fits me well. I could say, nein, das Kleid ist mir zu groß oder zu klein. So if it doesn't fit, if das Kleid passt mir nicht, I can say it's too big or too small for me, and that's what purpose the dative pronoun is serving here. So to me, the dress is too big or too small. So the dress is fitting to me, not in like some kind of general objective sense, like the dress fits the world. Nah, the dress fits me or it does not fit me. I can say, just use das Hemd again. Passt ihm gut. So it fits him well. Oder das Hemd passt ihm nicht. His shirt does not fit. Sein Hemd passt ihm nicht. Das ist nicht gut. So gefallen, stehen, passen. There are a few others that we haven't encountered but that you'll see over time. For example, glauben, to believe. So that's saying, like, I don't believe you. So I don't believe in what you're saying. I don't believe you. Ich glaube dir nicht. So dative verbs, I think, just look at the ones that you have in your vocabulary. I believe they're all in the chapter about fashion. If you have any other questions, just email me, let me know. Ansonsten viel Erfolg.